because obviously the Apollo was the hardest ticket to get.
Yo, we made it to StubHub, bro.
We did make it to StubHub. They was actually selling tickets in the aftermarket
Really?
marketplace.
Yeah, yo, nah,
Price going up.
I heard an offer. No joke. I heard an offer like, yo, I'll pay you $600 right now for a ticket.
Yeah, I definitely saw the tickets on StubHub for about $350, $400. We made it.
You know my motto, premium. Gotcha.
So what are some of the biggest lessons? A few, obviously we can't go through the whole show, but what are some of the biggest lessons from the Apollo for people that were not able to attend?
I'll start because mine is very quick, and then I'll share something really good. And I said it earlier, the market pays those who are patient. And I went into a detailed story of how it can do that. And so when we're talking about Disney and these other, I'm not trading that on a daily basis. What I'm really doing is creating a foundation for my children and their children going forward, right? We're going to hold these stocks. And I know Ian says 5 to 20 years, but I'm like, look, my kids should be living past 20 years. And so I want to make sure they're okay. And I want to give a huge shout out to Taylor. Shout out to Taylor. Shout out to Chuck. He called me today, and he was like, look, I heard what you said when I came over and you were teaching me how to invest. And he said, I was down like a couple $1,000, but I kept hearing you say, look, stick to the script. Mm-hmm. Today he called me and said, look, my account is up 150%. I said, look, that's what I was preaching, man. The market will pay those who was patient. If you make the right investment, if you do the research, you study your fundamentals and your technicals, trust what you do. That is the problem. I made that mistake early in investing. I didn't trust what I was doing. I felt a little unsure because there was nobody around me doing some of the investments I was doing. We now have a community of people who have a similar vision, who can actually give you feedback and actually give you pointers on how to invest and not confirm, but give you guidance when you're unsure. And so shout out to everybody in this community and others, but trust your research and please be patient with your investments.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Shotty,
what was your biggest takeaway? Shotty, ready to go already? It was on StubHub for $600. Boy, y'all better not let me do the pricing. Listen.
Of course, I talked about the Rashad 10, 20, 30 rule. I have decided to coin that.
Call that?
I have decided to coin that. Why not?
Yo,
why not?
Yo, Ian, when I saw that tweet, I'm like, Rashad said, I'm like, what?
Why not?
Yeah, but nah, I think it was dope because I'm like, don't gloss over that. I think that's a great way for people who don't really know how to invest or beginners. Like, that's pretty simplified, right?
Yeah, the Rashad's 10, 20, 30 rule is if a stock is at its all-time high, look for a 10% drop as a decent buy-in price, 20% drop as a good buy-in price, and 30% drop as an excellent buy-in price. And then you can dollar cost down. If you're not 100% confident in the situation, you can always dollar cost down into a position as long as it's a good position. Because you dollar cost down into like Dogecoin, and you'll be still dollar cost averaging down.
Ian doesn't know about crypto. He only knows about stocks. Man, I just want to make y'all rich, man. I swear, if y'all just listen to me, y'all will be straight, man. Listen.
Yeah, don't dollar cost average down. And for anybody that's not familiar with dollar cost averaging down is, AMD is a perfect example of that, right? So I have an AMD option, and I was down 50%. It wasn't a little bit of money, a substantial amount of money a couple of months ago. But from looking at the charts, knowing that it was moving sideways for about 6 months, it was consolidating. From understanding, that there's a chip shortage, from understanding that AMD has a strong history, I still had confidence, even though I was down 50%. So what did I do? I doubled my position. I added more money, added a substantial amount of money more.
I told you it's gonna be straight. You good?
Today I'm up 300% on that position. So that's so when you dollar cost down, it brings your buy-in price lower. So you can do that with just regular stock. You can do that with options, but that's what we mean by dollar cost averaging downwards. So if you are invested in a strong company that you believe in and you're down, it's not the end of the world. Don't panic. It might actually be
only if it's quality though.
Only if it's good. Only if it's good. That's what I'm saying. Only if it's good.
You guys can't buy a terrible company underneath $50 and think that everything is going to be okay. Go Google what martingale is. It is the same thing, but you should not average down more than twice. If you have to average down more than twice, it's not good.
and I ask other people's their opinion. I definitely asked Ian his opinion. I talk to Troy every day, so I always ask Troy his opinion. And I'm not, I don't have a high level of pride when it comes to that. I want to know other people. I'll talk to Trap if anybody, Jamal, anybody. I'll ask people their opinions.
If you lose, I'll bring that duffel though.
So it's good to have good resources and good friends. That's dollar cost down. And then I spoke about Rob. I don't want to talk about that right now.
Whoa.
That was a nuclear weapon. I just want to say that I did speak about it.
Okay. Don't panic.
So maybe later on we'll talk about that. But Ian, what was it for you?
A couple of lessons, if I can do two. One, kudos to my guy P from Dream Team. Marry your target. So for those of you that are trading, you have to pick one target and stick to it for 4 years, no matter what. If you're going to stick with one target for 4 years, please put 4 years in chat. And one that I said that I wasn't going to give up, that we talked about Saturday at the VIP day. If you guys truly want to know how to study the volume in the market, for all of you that are like videographers, and if you have drones, if you are in the major cities, it's a hell of a tip I gave. Go use your drone over the highways in major cities for 30 days. And look at when traffic slows down, look at when it speeds up, and then compare that over the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. You're going to see the same parallels over and over again, and that'll tell you the gaps in time, when to get into the market, when to get out, and then when the volume actually dries up. Different level of excellence. I want to thank us. I'm not going to say me. I'm going to say I want to thank us. So, Avalanche tip was fire, but I'm going to keep that for the Saturday group. I love y'all.
Let me say this also. All right, so switching topics.
I'm gonna be good the rest of the episode. I promise. I know your edge like, God, what is he drinking?
They spiked his pineapple juice.
Yeah, I'm good.
So today, I looked at the market. It was doing well today, and then at the close, I looked at my portfolio when the stock market had closed, and I'm like, I made a teacher's salary from Milwaukee today. So I was like, what happened? And I realized that SMH went crazy. What, $14?
SMH is
SMH is
that's different.
The gift that keeps giving. SMH went crazy today. How much did SMH go up today?
$12.
$12 today. How much did AMD go up today?
AMD
almost 10.
Yeah. AMD was up 7.
Yeah. So between those two bad boys, it was a good day. So being that, we can never talk about these situations enough. Is SMH the number one question that I get? Because I always talk about SMH. We talk about SMH all the time. The number one question that I get from everybody is, when is SMH going to pull back? When's a good time to invest in SMH? Is it too late? Is it too late to invest in SMH?
I'll let Ian go first.
No, it's not too late.
Because I know what I'm going to say.
Made you money, put yes in chat. Best price would be $261.94. If you want a deeper dip, $255. Please write those prices down. You guys keep at this is like if in the 1970s you're like, when is oil going to be a bad investment? The era's not over. AI, gaming, metaverse, every chip, like every phone needs more. AMD, NVIDIA, number one. SMH, like it's like a tier. Like you can go back and forth between Kobe, LeBron, Durant. Like you're good with all three. Yeah. I like AMD first, NVIDIA second. SMH is powerful. Stop thinking that you have to. A lot of you are like, well, I need to know how to fish on my own. You see everybody, man, teach a man to fish for himself. I'm like, most of y'all won't even get in the boat every day to fish for yourself. Let me put this on the plate for you. Put the little seasoning on it. Put the little fat fries on there. There you go, get rich. AMD, NVIDIA, SMH for the next 9 years at least, you'll be good. SMH is going to go to $649.38 in 4 years. You can miss out if you want to.
You've been warned.
That's the crystal ball. Like, and I think you can bring up a good point, Ian. A lot of times people will invest in something and they'll make gains in it, and it's like, let me go find something else to make gains in. And it's like, well, that worked for you. Why wouldn't you stay in that position and just make it a longer term position or add to the position? Right? We try to reinvent things. Like if we went up, and I won't say percentages, shout out to everybody else at the Apollo. But if it
phenomenal performance, I'll say that.
If it worked in
on stage and in the portfolio.
Appreciate you. If it worked in SMH And I don't know how many times we got to talk about semiconductors before you realize, like, yo, we're pretty heavily invested in semiconductors. It's an amazing investment. In fact, I just checked SMH. NVIDIA is now the number one allocation inside. It used to be TSM.
And that's why I like SMH because
you know what I'm saying?
It's
for a long time, it was TSM. For the past maybe year and a half, maybe 2 years, TSM. Obviously, we spoke about that, and people are asking, is TSM? TSM is it's just wait. Just wait.
TSM is Kyrie not playing right now. NVIDIA, Durant killing. Give him the ball.
No.
Lotion on the portfolio.
It's Steph right now. We ain't gonna say Durant. It's Steph right now.
And that's the reason why the ETF strategy, I'm a lot because we talked about it before. If one doesn't perform, there's others, 10 others, 15 others in it that's gonna make up for the one performance.
And that is the best. I still use that analogy. Like when I ask people, and I did this yesterday, I was teaching a couple of people about investing. I said, look, think of Apple. Or let's think of NVIDIA as Steph Curry, right? And think of SMH as the Western Conference All-Stars. Which one are you going to invest in? Yep. Right? Somebody will tell me
Troy has
Steph
my
Curry.
Permission to use that. Rest of you don't. I don't
want it is the best. When I say this, they get it right away. I'm like, look, you can invest in Steph, but what happens if he pulls his groin? Right? That's a lot of exposure, right? You're gonna feel the effects in your portfolio. But if Steph pulls his groin on a Western Conference All-Star team, right? The Western Conference All-Star team could still win the game, right? He might not score 30, give you 36 and 6, right? That he does as an individual. He might
cook y'all in 2K if I got the Western All-Stars.
15, 7 and 7, but 15 and 7 is great when you got LeBron on your team and you got AD on your team and you got Kawhi and Paul George on your team. Go with the All-Star team, y'all. That's what ETFs are. Strong ETFs are All-Star teams. And like I just said, TSM was the number one allocation, but that's the beauty of ETFs, right? They can reallocate, right? So if NVIDIA is running, now more money's poured into NVIDIA. Now that it becomes the number one position inside of the ETF.
Reallocation is a real rotation. Y'all need to worry. Remember when y'all worried about that last year? What about rotation?
That's a bar. Say it again. That's a bar.
Reallocation is the real rotation. Remember everybody was teaching you rotation. They rotated y'all to brokenness. This is the real rotation that matters the most. ETF or index is going to put the leader in the space in the number one allocation slot. And you'll be good. I want you guys to put this in chat. Investing is very easy. All I have to do is follow the blueprint.
Even XLK, right? That's one of our positions as well. That another ETF.
QQQ went crazy today too.
Incredible.
Went crazy today.
Incredible. QQQ is incredible. XLK, Apple for the past 2 years has been the number one allocation inside of XLK. It is now Microsoft.
Oh baby.
Yeah,
it's simple, man. Yep. Investing is not
44% of the fund is Apple and Microsoft. 44%. But
when I tell y'all should be 25% of your allocation, like that's overweighted because Randall P. Jones in 1987 said I should only have 8%. Ask people what their net worth is, man, when they're telling you this. There's a difference between, as my grandmother would say, sound reason and reason that sounds good. People can talk your ear off. Ask them when they give you some money. That's how you know who is actually doing well in investing. And shout out to everybody that I blessed on stage Friday.
Or like the Notorious B. Oh yeah, he definitely made it rain. When like the Notorious B.I.G. said, he's talking it but ain't living it.
That's what I really wanted to say.
He's talking it but ain't living it.
That really was my title at first. Yo, let me show you we really live in it.
Talking it but ain't living it. Shout, rest in peace to Big. Yeah. Remember 8 months ago when we went on the Breakfast Club the first time, and I talked about QQQ, and I said the option call. I'm up 147% on that call.
You think they listen?
It's on documented. It was.
Why are you being a diplomat today?
He's on a different type of time.
Man, you being so peaceful. I want you to go crazy.
Sometimes when you hear information, you gotta listen, man. The information is there right in front of us.